In 1952, the musician John Cage surprised his audience with a piece called 433. The American pianist sat in the front of the keyboard and opened the musical note, and it seemed as if he was going to start playing now. He held one hand but closed the other with the keyboard so that his audience listened only to silence. The piece was only 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence, in an invitation that critics thought was intended to stop the music for a while and listen to the sound of silence around us and get a deeper understanding of what is happening in our surroundings. In many cultures, some noise is associated with joy, music, talking, laughter. Sound in general often mean to many that we are enjoying life. But silence, on the other hand, has not received its fair share of the spotlight.
In studies conducted to reveal the effect of sound, sometimes noise, with the damage it causes in our bodies, or music with its magic. A team of scientists discovered by chance a surprising effect of silence on the brain, what prompted them to expand the research of its impact and to find out the reality of what is happening inside our minds in these silent moments, which will prove to be more valuable than what we seem to expect. So, what does silence do to the brain? What are the most important steps for acquiring the art of silence? It is said in the old days that silence is the only friend that does not betray, and one of the most wonderful arts that man has mastered throughout the ages is the art of silence. And one of the scholars says, silence is an art of speech. Silence was famous for showing the extent of a person's awareness and maturity. Among the genres, this art has always been needed by many in our time. So, first thing, the art of silence. Many scholars define silence by saying it is the silence of a person for a period of time and to stop talking and thinking about himself or anything. There are people who consider meditation and solitude as a kind of the pillars of the art of silence, as one obtains perfect psychological comfort and calm. Silence is also when the mind stops thinking about everything and pushes everything that revolves around it from the few and annoying. This for type 1. Type 2 is how to learn to be silent. Among the things that help to learn silence is to tame oneself to sit in a quiet place for a while, preferably half an hour at the beginning, while working to increase the time in the future. Turn off everything around you, your phone, TV, and anything that can disturb your focus, so you get complete rest and complete calm on the threshold of silence inside you to enjoy after hours of silence. After you have finished your silence, you will find yourself wanting to add more hours or of the silence instead of saying anything. In addition, silence prevents you from regretting anything of your words or actions because it accustoms you to speak less and thinking well before speaking. Then, what does silence do to the brain? In 2013, Frontiers in Human Neuroscience published a study that focused on the hypothetical tasks that the brain performs when it is not distracted by noise or tasks, which are processing information and thinking about things more deeply. Science is the mental space in which the default mode is activated in our brain. In this system, we think about ourselves and define our identity. When we participate in an activity, this default mode stops working, as if we stay outside ourselves until we return again in other moments of silence to ourselves. And this is what makes moments of silence a great value. And this is why the American writer Herman Melville says all things and the deep feelings of things are processed and attended by silence. In times of silence, the brain rests itself and the mind collects the dispersal of energy that it has used up in unconsciousness tasks that are always running in the background. Yes, those inner murmurs that revolve in our brain when we repeat a song we just heard, or we repeat from a call we just made, is the brain's opportunity to carry out what could be considered archiving of the information he has accumulated. In this context, a study conducted at the Medical College of Georgia in the United States indicated that the brain works during periods of silence to encode information and that neurons work continuously, even if they seem calm, just as the surface of the ocean appears calm, while its water is constantly moving. Similarly, a study published in the journal Heart revealed that 2 minutes of silence can achieve more relaxation than listening to soft music, which appears when measuring blood pressure and blood circulation in the brain. But this is not the only role of silence, and it seems the larger role is that it repairs the damage caused by our exposure to noise when we have to pay our attention to multiple inputs that tire our brains and distract us. To know what noise spoils, some silence fixes. In 2011, the World Health Organization measured the health burden that Europe pays due to noise to find that about 340 million Western Europeans lose the 1 million years of healthy life each year due to noise, and the organization stated that the root cause of the death of 3,000 Europeans with heart diseases is due to the intensity of noise. In noise, cortisol and blood sugar levels rise, blood pressure rises, and in the long run we suffer from chronic stress, become more at risk of cardiovascular disease. Sleep quality is affected. Rates of depression and anxiety disorders increase, and children's learning abilities are negatively affected.
But we are not here to talk about this negative effect today. Expect to tell you that all this tension and loss of focus and cognitive power that noise causes us can be cured only with periods of silence. So, how do you evoke silence? It can be said that those few minutes of silence are the key to the healing we need in the face of the negative effects of our modern lifestyle. But remember that spaces of silence are as easy to penetrate as glass is easy to break. So you need to be aware that in all the moments you have the option to break the silence and add a sound new to the environment. That this sound, unless necessary, maintaining silence may be a gift to yourself or someone to enjoy precious moments of inner peace. You have some steps help you to learn silence. You can follow some appropriate steps that will help you to gain silence. The most important of these steps are: stop talking. The easiest way to master the art of silence is to resist your desire to talk a lot. Choose your words wisely. One of the things that harm the person and spoil the relations between him and his surroundings is the lack of patience before starting to speak, and the absence of focus and careful thought about words before uttering them. When talking to people, do not forget to utter beautiful phrases that show how much you love people and how wise you are. Listen. The phrase that the elementary teacher used to organize the sections stuck in our minds by saying to us, "I say, I hear." The speech originally only existed to be listened to, so do not talk too much with listening and promise yourself to listen well and kindly before starting to answer and respond. Don't give feedback. When arguing with someone, do not hesitate to remain silent and listen to them more than you follow and return their boxes. Your silence gives you more opportunity to hear what the other is saying while thinking about what he means, as well as giving yourself time to think about the words and prepare an answer to them. Turn off the lights and screens. Giant screens and lights emanating from your room may be a barrier between you and calmness and thinking to reach your psychological comfort as well as your acquisition of silence. Even if you close your mouth and your room and your surroundings are calm, you have to end silence a larger part of your life with which you can dispense with everything you love from phone, computer, and television in exchange for enjoying an hour of silence and tranquility. Go out. Enjoying the art of silence is not only limited to the darkness and stillness of the room, but you're going out to nature and contemplating it makes our perception much broader, to make us understand life in another color and know our place within this beautiful ecosystem. Take deep breath. The respiratory system works to help most of the body's organs to feel a state of relaxation. If breathing is regular and deep,
and makes the air exist smoothly. Here we found the benefits of silence. Silence is a means to get rid of anxiety and negative influences, in addition to the work of the mind to win positive things and push their negativity. And we mention from the benefits of silence is the satisfaction. Silence nurtures in person contentment and happiness with little, as a person sees that he does not need a lot of money and honor in order to be happy, and that happiness is not limited to money. He can live happiness with himself by meditation and relaxation. Expression. Silence teaches a person not to tell everything he knows, for it was said in the old days, not everything he knows is said. You are limited to the useful only without many useless words. One sentence, if you say it with more force and power, is sufficient and will keep you away from trivial conversations. Interest. Silence nurtures in man the queen of attention and focus. So try on every occasion, if you meet someone who is important to you, do not lose sight of him and try to turn off your phone and take care of him. Among the many things that silence nurtures in man, voice, thinking, and faith, honestly, and perseverance, memory, and self-work.
This is what in the whole thing. I hope you find it useful and you benefit from it. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.